I am so ready to paint with you today, and I have got this beautiful canvas that is so blank and it's ready to put lots of cool paint on it. So let's get ready. There's one thing missing though, and what could it be? My lovely hat. Let's get ready to paint. Now I'm official and ready to go. Whoa, now for this painting, I have got to use all my colors. So you can see I've got green, black, red, blue, yellow, and white. Just to get ready for this, there's gonna be a lot of color on this painting, so have fun, get ready, and always remember, make mistakes, it's all good. Okay, so we're gonna get started with our awesome painting. Now I'm gonna be using my big brush because I'm gonna start with my background stuff and get this painting rocking and rolling. So I've got 2 plates with color on it, okay? So I'm gonna show you my first one. I've got red, blue, and yellow. Those are my primary colors. We're gonna start off with those and see how much we can make happen on this background. My other plate that I have is, whoa, look at all that white. I have a lot of white. So the reason why I have so much white on there is because I'm gonna do some awesome mixing, toning down the colors, all right? White tends to do that. So let's get started, let's have some fun. So we're gonna just have lots of color in our background. You're gonna see it just pop out at you, and there's gonna be so many amazing colors that are just gonna start off. So we're gonna start off with our brightest color, and that's gonna be yellow. Okay, we're just gonna kind of practice with a little bit of yellow, and I'm gonna take some yellow on my brush right there, just a little bit. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my white pile here, and on the very end, right over here, I'm gonna bring in some of that bright white and mix it with yellow. That's gonna make a light yellow. Okay, we're gonna try down here, just start off in like a circular motion, just making some awesome little brush strokes happen. There's no perfection, rhyme, or reason to it. We're just gonna adding some beautiful, beautiful brush strokes. Now this is a canvas that's already been pre-primed, meaning I'm gonna put this paint right on top of it. And I put a little bit white on there just to lighten it up. And you can see what that does is it helps blend the color. It's really, really cool. All right, so we're gonna just leave that on its own a little bit. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna just take another color. And if you actually see, I've got my red coming up, okay? So here we go. There's my primary plate. I'm gonna go ahead and take that same brush. It's okay if there's a little bit of yellow and white on there. I'm gonna take a little bit of red, just a little bit right there. And I'm gonna mix it into that light yellow that we made. It's a really pretty color that's gonna pop up on here. Watch this. I'm gonna take some of that and just add some vibrant color and blend it into that yellow. Okay, I'm gonna just kind of go around it, just have a little bit of fun, get some of that off of my brush. And now you can see it's just really pretty. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit more red on my brush now and pick up my white, just a little bit on there as well. And I'm gonna add, whoa, look at that vibrant red. But you can see what white does to it. It makes it pink. See, if I add a little bit of white, it makes it pink. All right, so now you can see we've got some vibrant color just happening in our background. Really, really pretty stuff. Now, it's okay if there's imperfections and you're just like getting used to this paint. That's what it's designed for. All right, this step is designed to get used to the paint. And I'm adding a little bit just to reach up into this corner here with this beautiful color. It's almost a fuchsia color starting to go ahead on this canvas. So really cool. Beautiful. Blending. It's blending nicely. Very nicely. So we can continue on. We're gonna add a little bit more just coming up into this area. Again, there's no perfection. It's very random. The sky has just got a lot of color. Just happens to have a lot of color in it. All right. So there you go. You've got your start to your colors. Keep working on that. I'm going to go ahead and just rinse off this brush just a little bit. I want to keep some of that red on there, but I'm trying to get a lot of the orange off of it. All right, I've got my trusty water cup. And I just reuse this water cup all the time. It's old, but it does the job. Okay. Now I'm going to take my napkin and just kind of wipe that off a little bit. Now, there's still going to be a little bit of pigment and paint on this brush. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're going to have some fun with it. We're going to try out our other primary color, which is blue. So we're going to take some of that blue. All right. And on the other side of my white pile, I'm going to go ahead and just mix in some of that blue over here. And that's going to make a beautiful, vibrant, powdery light blue. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of that blue and just kind of go over in this corner right here. Just have some fun with it. Now, what happens when blue meets red? That's right, it turns a little bit of purple on you. That's okay. That's okay. See, I'm going to just add a little bit more blue and just blend some of that blue into some of the red. Just a tiny, tiny bit is all you need. And you can see it overpowers it somewhat, so you got to be careful. Got a lot of paint on there, so we want to let it dry out a little bit and let that paint do its thing, okay? So as you can see, we've got blue up there. Let's go ahead and add some of that powdery light blue down here as well. And this is where you're going to make your land, okay? We're just doing some fun background stuff right now. But eventually your land is going to come right over here. I'm going to add more powdery light blue. And again, just kind of twirling my brush in a circular motion, just making this beautiful, beautiful background here. And then I'm going to kind of bring some of this blue behind here. Now you can play with these colors as much as you like. There's so much vibrant stuff going on right now, and you can just keep going with it. It's so fantastic. It's so fun. You can even mix blue and red on your brush right here. Look at that, I'm making a purple. I'm just making a purple right there. That's like kind of a dark purple. But remember how we lighten it up? I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of white right on there. Watch this. Whoa! Totally different vibe. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful color? You can add some more over here if you want. Whatever you'd like. Just add your colors, mix it up a little bit. It's such a fun step. There's so much color. You're adding all this sky. Look at this. I'm going to kind of break this up a little bit, blend it a little bit more. Add some brush strokes maybe going through the pink. And then we can just keep going on this. You could wait till it dries a little bit and add more colors, whatever you'd like. Look at that. Break up some of that over here. So it almost looks like you got some warm sky behind, and then it's going to be surrounded by this cooler color. There we go. Wow. So vibrant. Just have fun with it. Keep it going, guys. I'm going to keep working on this. Remember always to rinse your brush if you want to change colors, do anything like that. Wow, your painting is looking fantastic. You can see all the colors come to life so quickly. We kind of toned things down with that white, and it made some beautiful, beautiful colors. I'm so proud of you, but we do have to at least cover that bottom part of our canvas. And we're going to do that with our powdery light blue. Remember that? I'm gonna take my big brush, all right, and I'm still gonna use some of that powdery light blue that I mixed up. All right, I'm just gonna take some of that, and what I'm gonna do is just kind of go back and forth, side to side, just right here, and cover the white. Cover all that white a little bit with the, it's a very light blue, so not much blue is needed. You can see, you can barely see some of these blue streaks. There's a little bit more, okay? But just a little bit. That's all you need. There you go. There you go, side to side. And you can see I'm sometimes doing these elongated brush strokes. I'm kind of going back and forth, pretty elongated. That helps blend the paints a little bit. Just using this nice acrylic paint. We always use acrylic paint on this show because it's so user-friendly. It's so user-friendly. So I'm gonna bring this thing up close so you can see what I'm working on. So if you're looking at yours, you're like, oh my gosh, this is not perfect. It's not perfect. It's not exactly what I want. Don't worry. Imperfections are actually wanted because this is nature. So you can see the brush strokes. You can see some of the imperfections that I've done on this painting and the different colors that came to life. And we just kind of, you know, made our separation happen there. That's what's so so awesome about, and beautiful really, about nature, is that you can get some really imperfect, amazing, stunning views. So we've got that sitting there, all right? We've got paint on the entire face of this canvas. Now we need to start adding a little bit of life to this thing, all right? So I'm gonna make some background trees, okay? I'm gonna make some smaller ones in the distance. You can use a little bit of black, but I would recommend maybe doing some blue, all right, and purples first, okay? So we're gonna practice with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my smaller brush. Grab your smaller brush. Okay. You can see mine's kind of weathered here. It's okay, it's not perfect. Don't worry, you don't have to have an expensive brush. You can get these really inexpensive brushes, and it's okay. You can make some amazing things happen with them. Trust me. All right, so I've got my primary colors there. I've already made like a blue and purple, but I'm just gonna take a little bit of blue. It's okay if a little purple got on there. Okay. And all I'm gonna do right here is just draw a nice little line coming right there, okay? Just a nice little line, and it's just blue. All right, I'm gonna bring it up close so you can see. Watch this, I'm gonna hold this canvas and paint with you, okay? So I'm gonna just come a little bit close down the line here, and then I'm gonna just do these side to side motions and just trickle down very randomly, adding this blue texture. Okay, so you're gonna see this illusion of this awesome tree start to come to life in the background. Now you don't want to make it too big. You want to make it just a nice little bit and just start on a basic tree in the background. All right, I'm bringing some of these branches down. There's gaps, there's imperfections, and this brush tends to do a pretty good job on it because it is an imperfect brush as well. There we go. We've got our first background tree. We just put a little bit of plain blue on our brush and made that happen. I want you to go ahead and just start making a few trees. We're gonna go ahead and leave this area for our final tree. But I want you to make maybe a smaller tree right here. Okay. And again, I'm holding this canvas, so it's a little bit more difficult to do that. I'd recommend you just sit it down on a flat surface, or if you want an easel, you can do an easel as well. A lot of my paintings, I do both. You know, either or, whatever you feel like, or whatever you have at home. All right, and there we go. We've got our other tree. A couple branches sticking out. Look at how beautiful that is. That's really looking kind of mystical and mystified in the background. All right, keep going. I want you to add more. All right, just a few. This one's a quick one here because I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. And look at that. You can even make little mini ones or whatever you want in your land. But It's just a really pretty step, and you can see it kind of blends into the background there. It's soft, it's glowy, it's got that beautiful mystic kind of touch to it. That's because we've added those whites and those pastel colors in the background, and you can kind of work on these. Remember, sometimes the faster you go, the more imperfect it is, and the better these things turn out. All right, so we've got some blue trees. I'm gonna set that down. My hand is getting a little tired right there. All right, now what I'm gonna do is add some purple trees. Okay, so I'm gonna take my blue and my red, mix those together. That same brush, it's my mixing brush and my painting brush, and that makes purple. Now you can wipe off your brush on your plate there, you can see. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some more here. So I'm gonna add another one right here. Lots of color. Look at all this beautiful color coming out. Okay, you can see I'm kind of going a little bit fast. Again, I'm trying to get ahead of the game here and just kind of show you. That way you can rewind it. You can see this as many times as you like or need to. See? Look at that purple. That makes it look like it's coming at you a little bit more, doesn't it? Okay. Let's add one over here. Let's add this side. Again, I come down a little bit, and then I'm adding another tree right over here. And when you can try to get used to your paints, your purples, and just see how far you can take some of this without it like kind of changing on you or doing anything like that. And you can even add some distant ones in the background, just little lines. Gives it that illusion that maybe there's some imperfection back in the background. Wow, really, really pretty. But we want to start adding some contrast to this thing. It looks so pretty and mystical and all that, but I really love the next step because it really changes the outlook of this awesome painting. It really amplifies it quite a bit. You're no longer gonna have this pastel kind of feel. You're actually gonna get into some darker modes, and that's with black. Black changes everything on your painting. So I'm gonna get my black ready. This thing's almost empty. I use a lot of black. I like contrast, let me tell you. But it's not for everybody. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you here. Let's get some black on that. On that plate. Look at that. Not much is needed. It's such a powerful color. Okay. I'm going to take that same brush, okay? Same brush. And I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of black and bring out some blue over here with this black. And that's going to make a much darker color. Watch what this does. Okay, I'm going to make my tree, same step, add that line first, and then start kind of just tapering down. But look what it does. It stands out so much different, doesn't it? Whoa! That is a really cool tree. Look at that thing. Okay, so let's do another one over here. Let's do it. Alright, look at that guy. And you can even add some blue on it just to, you know, on your brush as you're doing it, just to add that color. It's okay. If you want, you can add some bits of blue and purple on there. No big deal. That changes, it adds more color on that tree so it's not such a solid dark color. Oh, this brush is getting a little worse for wear on me. It's starting to get thick, so what you can do is crunch your bristles. Show that on some of my other shows. So take a look. You can see we've got some awesome contrast going there. Really, really interesting. It's really starting to take shape. I'm making some different trees here, different size trees, and you can just do dark blue, you can do light blue, whatever you'd like. Remember, nature's not perfect, and this brush is definitely proving that. It's getting more difficult to use this one. So I'm going to crunch these bristles. What do I mean by that? Let me show you. I'm going to just take that brush right there, put it in my napkin, wrap it around, and press down. What that does now is that molds those bristles together. Woo, now we're sharp. Watch the tree I can make now with this guy. Once I crunched my bristles here, look at that line. Whoa, I gotta show you. I'm gonna bring this up close. Here we go. Look at that sharp line right there. Just by doing that simple step. And you can do this as many times as you like. Crunch your bristles. Trademark pending. All right. Wow! Look at us go! Look at these trees. Look at what's happening. This forest is coming to life. Oh my goodness. Beautiful job, guys. Keep up the good work, okay? You're doing fantastic. You can even add some different color into these purples. Don't worry about it. Remember, add some shadows and some different things into it. Just have fun with the color. It's such a fun step. Lots of texture, just starting to really change this painting, and it's getting so much more interesting now that you're doing all this. It's really, really coming to life. Oh man. There we go. All right, so we got all our like little side trees and all that. I want to add this awesome epic tree right in the middle, and we're gonna get that going right now. All right, so same concept. We're just gonna do like pretty much almost like a black. Okay, it's okay if there's a little bit of blue in there, but we're gonna go ahead and just really just try to make this a really big, this is a big tree, this is a big deal, and that's how we want to make this come out here. This one's actually gonna come into our snow a little bit too, so it's gonna take up some good real estate right in here. So I know it's going to cover some of that beautiful color, but don't worry, it's going to be worth it, I promise you. So let's do it. Let's do it. Just be brave. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Okay. Here we go. Whew. I'm going to bring this up close so you can see I'm holding this canvas nice and tight for you. And then I'm just going to bring an awesome, beautiful line coming right in here, coming right down to right about here in our snow. Oh my gosh. Isn't that cuckoo crazy? Oh my goodness. Don't worry, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be great, trust me. All right, so I'm gonna do that same step. You can crunch your bristles again if you'd like. Remember that? We just did it. Do that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just start coming down here and very lightly touching that canvas and bringing this very dark tree coming up. Whoa, that's a big branch coming out. Yeah, it's okay. Make some gaps, make some random things kind of happen there, but we do want it to be kind of full for what we're doing on this tree, and you're going to see what exactly is coming up. All right, so let's go ahead and just make this an awesome, beautiful tree. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to add some textures, some lighting, and some cool effects on this. So just hang tight, okay? Whoa. A little bit more black. I want to make this pretty dark. It's okay if some of those little yellow pieces kind of stand out in the back. Don't worry about that. But you can see there's just natural texture just starting to happen right on this tree already. I'm just kind of just doing these like little spikes coming out of this. This is how I kind of paint with these trees. You can make little spikes come out, lots of texturizing, lots of imperfections. So many imperfections. Okay, and we're going to keep going down. Further and further we go. And look at this. This thing is just so cool. It's coming alive. It's okay if it covers some of those trees in the background. I know. Don't worry. You're gonna love what it comes out to be. Okay, and then I'm gonna bring some of these branches down, all the way down to the ground. This is a full, healthy, beautiful tree, and we need to just enjoy the view and take a picture of it before we decorate it. We're gonna put some serious decorations on this thing. Okay. So there you go. We've got that awesome tree right there. Really, really pretty. Now you can see, you can change your snow baking if you like. You can add some more blues. You can add some textures, things like that. You're more than welcome to. Even if you brought your tree down further, that's okay. Look at, you can bring it down. It's not a big deal. It just gives the illusion. It's all perception now. That's all it is now, is just perception, depth. Okay, and we can just bring it down right about there. You don't want to go too much further. Okay, but it comes into your land a little bit more. That's what's so awesome. Here, I'm going to add some black, add some texture. Oh my gosh, look at that. Looks like little shadows happening in the tree now naturally. And voila! Bring some of that paint up. Now we definitely want this tree to dry off. Okay, so we want to get this paint dry to the touch. And it's already going to start drying on you pretty quickly because it's acrylic paint. Alright, so there's one way that you can do it. You can set it in front of a fan. I've seen people blow on it, go until they pass out. Or you can take it and watch this. I'm going to just kind of fan it off. I'm going to just give some air conditioning to my studio here. Okay, but it also, that air and that wind helps dry this paint off. It's really cool. So while that's doing that, if there's anything that you want to work on, now's a good time to do it. So if you're like, you know what, I want a little bit more blue, like I said, in my powdery light blue, you know, I want to add some shadowing or some texture in the snow. I'm going to add a little bit more powdery light blue just around it here, you know? Just to have some depth and to make it look like a frozen land a little bit more. And it just adds texture. But you can see I can blend some. It's just a fun step. You can just change the whole look of your paint. You can add more white, add highlights, lowlights, whatever you'd like. It's all dried up, so you can like kind of really mess with this. And you can see if there's too much blue, just add some more white. It's that easy. Okay, make your little land, or you can work on your trees. Now's the time to do it though, because we are about to change the entire tree coming up here. This one right here. All right, try to stay away from the black. You can see I just got some black on it. Ooh, no. It's all right, I'll put up a little bit of white in there. And then we'll get rid of it. There we go. Fun stuff. Blue. Ooh, that's a beautiful painting. Whoa, look at that. Okay, so our painting's coming to life. I'm gonna go ahead and choose a couple new brushes. I've got medium and kind of small brushes, all right? So I want you to just practice with it and just see how you like your different brushes. They're both flat brushes. This one's kind of an angle brush. This one's kind of messed up too. Look at this old rust bucket right there. So we're gonna give that one some love and just see what happens, all right? So I've got this tree, but we wanna add some awesome texture on it, some really fun stuff. So I'm gonna try, I would say try your smaller brush first if you'd like, but you can try your medium. I'm just gonna give it a whirl, and I'm gonna go ahead and put plain white on the end of this guy. Now, I'm gonna get a feel for this brush really quick. If I don't like it, I'm gonna switch to a different brush. You can do that as well. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and just I'm gonna do the down here a little bit. I'm gonna add little dabs and just kind of break up some of this tree here, some of the branches. I'm gonna just add some random little dabs, very gently touching the canvas. I'm not touching too much of it. And you can see we're going to add some awesome texture on there. That white really stands out, doesn't it? All right, so you can see I'm using my pretty large brush on this bottom part because this is a big canvas, but you're more than welcome to use a small brush too. The angle brush will do some different techniques for you. It just depends on what you want your painting to look like. All right, so you can see, look at that. We've got some fun stuff happening on this guy. Now, you don't want to make it so symmetrical. You want to make it look like maybe some of these branches just happen to get a little bit of snowfall on them. You know, like there's a bigger chunk right there versus like maybe some of the other areas. And you just kind of just go up the tree just like that. Just changing the texture, working with your brush, seeing what looks good for you. All right, look at this. It's coming to life. This tree is getting some awesome texture on it. Now let's try the smaller brush as we get closer up too. If you're already using the smaller brush, kudos, way to go. But I'm gonna go ahead and grab my smaller brush and see what we do with that one. Yeah, it's gonna be more refined. You're gonna see the brush actually changes the look of these highlights by quite a bit, but it does help to use that, especially going up to this tree when you're starting to get to a little bit smaller areas here. Whoa! Boom, bam! Can we get a booyah? Booyah! Woo, 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 woo. Dating myself right there. Boom! Look at this. Look at this tree. It's getting beautiful. Oh my gosh. And you can see I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm trying to mess this up a little bit. You know, I'm trying to actually, you know, just break up some of that tree, and just by dabbing and blotting little areas randomly. There's no calculation to it. There's no, you know, like it's got to be perfect. We want some imperfections, and that's going to be hard for my perfectionists out there. I know, but it's okay. Just let go. Take a breath, let go. And I promise, you're going to start seeing some different results. Especially, check it out too. When you put this further away, it looks a lot different. Okay, when you bring it up close, look at all those imperfections. Okay? You're probably looking at it up close the entire time and saying, this isn't perfect. But either is mine. Look at that. Either is mine. All right, so as you can see, look at those beautiful highlights just happening on that tree, and we are gonna keep it going. We're gonna add some awesome effects on this now. We're starting to get almost finished with this painting because you're gonna see we're gonna start adding some details coming right up. All right, here comes a real fun and exciting time for our painting. We're gonna be doing some awesome little pointillism, so I'm getting my small, tiny brush, and I've poured a new color on my plate. Look at that beautiful, beautiful green. It's so pretty just hanging out there. So we're gonna start with that guy. So I wanna go ahead and just make this a festive, fun tree. I'm gonna take a little bit of green on that brush, and randomly I'm gonna put these little lights of green. Just random lights. We're gonna add all sorts of cool color on this, but I want to start with this beautiful color. And it's kind of funny, it just matches like the tree color a little bit. That's what green does. But we're gonna just add that. You can see just tiny little dots. It's okay if you make them bigger. It's okay. They're fun if it's a little bit bigger too. You got these big kind of like awesome lights on there. Okay, so that's one color. So make your dots, take a look. I've got my little dots on my tree, just kind of randomly, but evenly putting them around. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and rinse this brush off in my water cup. Oh yeah. So, okay, got that. Let's go ahead and add a bright color just so you can see a little bit better. I'm gonna add yellow. All right, let's do this. I'm holding my canvas up and making some yellow dots. Especially in some of the darker areas, those shine out a little bit better. Look at this, it's starting to come to life. My son just got home from football. You might be able to hear him in the background. He is excited. He just got some awesome practice in. But that's how our house is. It's always busy. Go, go, go. All right, so look at, we got some yellow. Look how bright and shiny that is. Okay, so now we can keep that yellow on this brush and we can put some red on it and mix it into the yellow, and that makes orange. We can add some orange dots. Might as well, right? Beautiful, beautiful orange. Let's add some color on this thing. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna add some orange dots. Look at this, really, really beautiful color. And just having some fun with this, okay? So I want you to have some fun, just make it imperfect. I want you to just add some random dots, kind of even it out, make your dots. Okay, and now we're gonna do some red. Let's do some bright red here. I'm just gonna put it right on that brush. Whoa, that stands out. Look at that. Trying to stay away from some of the other colors and even this out a little bit. Some of that red might just shine a little bit brighter. And that's all we're doing. Adding some fun color and texture to our beautiful tree. Look at that, festive. Okay, so take a look. I'm holding the canvas up, painting this, and just making it happen. I can even add some blue. Let's add some blue in that guy, all right? I'm gonna rinse this brush off. You know what? I'm just gonna kind of wipe it off. I can get that paint off there. Let's put some blue dots in there so we get every color that we want. Boom, 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 boom. Oh my goodness. I just love how this tree came to life. Very fun, very festive. Beautiful color. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, there we go. So we got that tree. It's beautiful. It's decorated. We're almost done. We've got another cool, exciting, awesome thing that we're gonna put on this. We're gonna actually make some snowfall. So get ready. You're gonna get a little bit messy, so have fun with it though, and get some paint on your fingers this time because man, you're becoming an artist. I'm so proud of you. All right, for one of our last steps on this painting, I'm gonna go ahead and add some snowfall. Now, I'm gonna use old Rust Bucket here. It's got some pretty loose brushes because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some white paint on this, but I'm gonna water it down really, really good. It's the only time that we typically water down a lot of this paint, unless you want it blurry or whatever. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna flick some of these bristles. Look at that, I'm gonna flick a little bit of ways, and it's just gonna make this cool effect of snow. All right, it's a really, really neat step. You do get some paint on your fingers, but that means you're becoming an artist. So let's go ahead and do this. I got my white still on this plate. And I'm gonna stay away from some of those other colors. And what I did was I dumped out my water and put some fresh water in there. So it's nice and clean, all right? So I'm gonna water down, check this out, I'm watering down some of this white paint. And I want it to be pretty loose paint. So I'm gonna make it pretty watery as best as I can. Now you're gonna see it's gonna go in some of the other colors. So if you do want to, you can grab a new plate or palette. You can scoop up some of this. Whoa. All right, you can scoop up some of this and put it in a fresh little plate area. And then here you can water it down. I just dipped this brush in some water and just kind of really making it nice and thin. Okay, I'm adding more water, more and more water. Now you don't want to have a ton of paint on your brush when you're trying to fling or flick some of this paint. All right, so you just want to make it watery and then kind of try to get some of it off. Okay, so you can bring it into some of your other parts of your plate. Now, what you do is you take your brush, get your finger on there, And a little bit of ways from your canvas, you want to just kind of fling your bristles. And I'm going to bring this up close so you can see what this really does, okay, just on this first initial flinging. Okay, and I'm just very carefully, lightly kind of evening out these snowflakes. But what it does is it adds an amazing kind of look and texture. Now, it can be a little bit messy, so watch what you're doing, or watch where you're, doing this at. Make sure you're around stuff that you can, get paint on, or, that you can make a little bit of a mess, okay? But this is so cool. Okay, I'm going to bring this up close so you can see what I'm working on, and I want you to work on this too. All right? Wow, some of this is just so amazing. This gives it the illusion of real snowfall coming down from the sky. Okay, I'm going to bring this up close so you can see what I'm working on here. I'm flinging it and flicking that paint. Now look at this awesome snowfall that's starting to occur. It's even coming in front of those other trees. All right, it gives a beautiful, beautiful effect. It gives it more of like a 3D effect. Now, you can put more on there. You want to make it so it looks good, not too crazy, okay? You don't want to overdo it and make a blizzard. I'm going to put a little bit more paint on my brush and do some more flinging. And some of these, you might get some bigger chunks of paint coming off. You just got to try to even it out as best you can. And it just takes a little bit of practice, but you start getting the hang of it once you start doing it a bunch. But it's so fun. And it's so realistic looking. I'm like, wow, this is so neat how this little step does such an amazing thing. Bring some down here. Snowfall's coming down on the ground. Oh my gosh. All right, guys, there it is. We did it. That is our painting. So look at that. We have a really cool tree, all those background trees, this beautiful sky, all those cool little snowflakes just coming down and making it a winter wonderland. I am so excited that we got to paint this together. Tune in every Friday. That way we can paint everything and just keep on practicing. This was more of an advanced painting here, so I'm gonna make some cool ones for you. Don't worry, we got plenty coming your way. Enjoy the process. Remember, it's okay to mess up. It's okay to make mistakes. Just learn from it and just have fun with it and use your creativity. All right, we'll see you at the next show. Bye, guys.